Hello, everyone. Ooh, just tuck that away. Hi, how are you? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and we're all here together in this beautiful space for creators just like you. Oh, look at this. We have so many amazing people here already. Takara is here. Hello. Poxy is here. Hi. Akubio is here but can't stay. That's absolutely fine. It's good to see you. Dahlia just here. Hello. Cassandra. Hi. Anne is here. Numberless Dreams. Steffers is here. Hi. Allie. Hey. Gosh, it's wonderful to see each and every one of you. Carmen is here. Hello. Pico is here. Mike is here. G. Martian is here. Hello. Alana. Hello. Hi. Sarah and Marissa. Hello. So good to see you. Sarah is here. Hi. Wisty is here. Drayton is here. Deb, hey. It's been a while. I'm so happy to see you, Deb. Hello. Frey is here. Hello. Falling Hoshi and Laura and Kathy and Jennifer. Hi, welcome. How are you all doing tonight? It's been a good week. It's been a good week. Oh, another book lover is here. Hello, hi. Oh, Aridin. I'm gonna get it right this time. Says loved the readathon video. Thank you. I'm participating in a readathon this Friday. For our local adult literacy program here in town, and it's going to be over Zoom. And it's just I'm going to be reading a short story by Ray Bradbury, and I have a 10-minute window, which is not a lot because they're cramming a lot of people into this, and so I only have 10 minutes, and so I had to go through. I went through the October country, and I was like, okay, I really want to read Jack in the Box, and it's my favorite story from that collection just because it's so weird. And I timed myself reading it, and it took like 47 minutes, and I was like, okay. So what's the shortest story in this collection? And that ended up being The Lake. And so I'm going to be reading The Lake on Friday at 5 p.m. Central over at the Reach Literacy Readathon. I love getting involved in the community, like even with COVID, because this is a digital event, I feel safe doing it. But being involved in your community, it's important. It's important. There's so many people in our community who have the barrier and the challenge of illiteracy, and I don't know. It's something that's very, very close to my heart. Reading is how I navigate the world, and I know that it can be if you learn how to read, especially as an adult, the world opens up to you. So I've got that coming up. Let's see. All right, I missed some comments here. Oh, Allie says I'm sick, but I've been productive. Allie, are you getting enough rest? We don't always need to be productive when we're sick, okay? I'm not like shaming or guilting you. I just want to make sure you're taking really good care of yourself. Ooh, Jennifer says, I had a really weird breakthrough on a dog walk earlier this week that brought my Camp Nano project together. Oh, that's fantastic. And it's a bit overwhelming because now I don't have an excuse not to write it. Oh, thank you. Cassandra says I signed up for the readathon. Yes. Tim Tam hunting. Oh, Alana tried to find some Tim Tams. I am determined, though. I love it. I love it. Oh, hey, Cryptid is here. Hello. Yes. So just real quick. Oh, Davis is here. Hey, Davis. If you're new, welcome. If you have not been to one of these before, I'm so glad you're here. If you have been to one of these before, I'm equally glad that you're here. I love seeing people come back. I love this. I love seeing this community build and grow. One quick thing is, if you're new, if you just started following me over on Twitch, you won't be able to comment until you've been following me for an hour. It's just, it's a way to like just, keep the nasty trolls away. So thanks for your patience. I look forward to hearing from you in an hour when you've been here for a while. Hey, Annie's here. Oh, Annie, where is this class? Because that sounds amazing. Annie says, back again, I signed up today for a class on emotional self-care for creatives. So really interested to see how that will go. It's not until May. Whew, a class on emotional self-care for creatives. That's heavy. That's huge. Wow. Oh, good, good. Dahlia says, I read your Dear Creators newsletter and it couldn't have come at a better time. I'm rewriting a story and I've been holding up high expectations for it. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really, really, really glad that it helped. I also have a new Right Now podcast episode out today. Yes. I was like, wait, what's it called? I just released it this morning. I recorded it yesterday. What's it called? It's called It's Not Too Late. And so hopefully between my Dear Creators newsletter that went out on Monday and my new episode that came out today, you'll find some encouragement. You'll find some hope. You'll find hopefully what you need. Yeah. Good. Allie says, today I finished season 3, episode 2 of Dining in the Void, and I'm almost done editing episode 1 of Written in Stardust. Lovely. Also, I organized and listened to 19 auditions yesterday. That's fantastic. For Human Error, I took many breaks in between as well. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Takara says it's been a long 3 days. Have things not been going great for you? Tim says sound designing a ballista tonight. Fantastic. Oh, Sarah says here today was a day of rejections. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to kick it tonight. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry about the rejections. Those hurt and they reflect on us in ways that are not intended. But we interpret them that way. We all do. I know that I'm a good person, but when I get a rejection, I feel like I'm not. And it's really, really hard to deal with. Yes, drop the details about that class. I am very, very interested. Oh, Pico says currently in quarantine, day 4 of 14, finally able to relax after the move. Oh my gosh, good. Spending some time journaling tonight. Oh, that sounds very good and very necessary. Oh, Eridan says, I've been struggling with knee issues lately, unable to focus. I'm looking forward to creating tonight. Yeah, sometimes our earthly shells, I don't know, our mortal coils don't behave in a way that's conducive to our creativity, and it's frustrating. And yeah, I know that you can do it though. I say this as a person who struggles with a lot of that myself. I'm just, I don't know like how much of this you want to hear, but like I've been kind of, in and out of hospitals my whole life. And, there's just a lot of stuff that can go wrong. And it can be really hard. And then, often if you struggle with chronic fatigue or chronic pain or anything like that, I don't know, it can get you down. It can get you down. So, oh, there's so many good things going on in the comments and I love it. Yes, Tim, is this a space pirate ballista? I would love to know. Alana says, I'm determined to write something tonight. I've been covered in dogs so much recently, which is nice, but makes it hard to write. Oh my gosh, I know. I know. Oh, I know. I'm feeling very contemplative today. Like every time someone says something, I like kind of float off into my own thoughts, and that's not really conducive for live streaming. I was just thinking about the other day. I was like sitting here trying to write, and Midori kept sitting. Either when I wanted to write in my journal, she was sitting in my journal. When I wanted to type, she would sit on my keyboard, and I was like, I love you so much, but you can't be here right now because I have things I need to get done. And then I feel guilty because she's 19 and I should be spending quality time with her, with the time that she has left. And I feel like one of those really, really bad parents in like the movies from the 80s who like their biggest sin or whatever is neglecting their children and like not valuing time with their family, like the kind of Scrooged mindset. So yeah, I totally get it. Things that get in our way when we want to write are plentiful. Oh, Cryptid says, I'm still working on my D&D character. Their name is Odin. I love it. Who knew it was so easy to write a backstory, but so hard to figure out how they act? Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm doing a fun 100 questions to help with that. Oh, I love those. The kind of questions that are like, oh, what's your favorite, what's your character's favorite flavor of ice cream? And what is your character most afraid of in the world? And, the fate system, I remember this from playing the Jim Butcher Dresden Files RPG like years and years ago. I remember that had like a fun character creation and like how will your character act in certain situations. That had an interesting building system. Damien says, had a bad day doing some video game distraction to get over it. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and Takara says, I've just been down too. Yeah. Davis, I appreciate this. Davis says, I like thinking of submission rejections like Tinder chats. Swipe, chat, forget. That's fantastic. Oh, no. Mike says, I'm down to 9-finger typing tonight because I managed to shut my finger in the car door on Monday. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that sucks. But you can do it. You can do it. Oh, yeah. Sarah says it's a grim season. It feels a little bit like it. Gosh, yeah. Oh, Evan's here. Hey, Evan. Ooh, Cassandra says, I attended a fun writing workshop yesterday about creating an adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. A local Jane Austen group and library are doing a writing contest next month on that theme. So that's what I'm going to work on tonight. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes. It's nice to have something to work toward. So that's fantastic. Oh, Tavik is watching with you tonight. Says hi. Hi, Tavik. It's so good to see you. Well, I guess I'm not like seeing you. That's weird and creepy, but it's good to know that you're here. Evan says, I'm actually going to spend this hour fixing my Scrivener format so we'll output better and then doing the edits on This Planet Needs a Name 6. Good. Sometimes those administrative tasks, you just got to do them and then you can finally move forward. Oh, hey, Rebellious Comet is here. Hello. Oh, man. Ooh, GE says, working on my rigidly structured outline. Oh, inspired by your pod on the subject. Super excited to see progress. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, let's just all become cyborgs. Then maybe we won't hurt as much. I don't know. Deb says, been crocheting a lot. Oh, I love that. Making gifts for friends. Also got into diamond painting. I don't know what that is. That sounds awesome. Like are actual diamonds involved or... and Deb continues, tonight I'm alpha reading Drayton's new book. Ooh, took time tonight so I can be here to read. Oh, took time tonight to be here so I can read. Wonderful. Deb, I love seeing you here. That's fantastic. Numberless Dream says, coding is going so slowly. I'm trying to figure out the extent of the project and how to make it work at the same time. Oof, oof, oof. Oh, and Jennifer says, I think there might be a podcast or audio element to my horror series. Ooh, I'm excited about this. My main character keeps a diary of what happens in my book that she eventually destroys. But I'm thinking it might be super fun, like an extra to add. I'm not sure why I do this sort of thing to myself. Yes, like if you released like a little spin-off podcast, just like a limited number of episodes, like however many diary entries, like, and then you had like, you know, a way to access that in your book, like, I don't know, printing a QR code that takes a link, or just like linking off, putting up a website for it. Oh, that could be really fun. Or if it's an ebook, you know, you can just provide the link. Okay, I get really excited about like multimedia integrated projects. So let's see. Steffer says, I'm generally in a kind of low place, not because anything has happened, but yeah, just good old biological chemistry that's making it pretty difficult to write. I'm a week behind on my self-imposed schedule, but I'm going to keep pushing forward. Yeah. And if it's a self-imposed schedule, please do be gracious with yourself, give yourself grace, and be flexible with that schedule, adjust it if you need to. Yeah. It's all in your hands. Ooh. Thai butterfly pea tea. Blue tea, that sounds beautiful. And still polishing your draft of Dances with Aliens. I love it. Yeah, this week, yeah, I almost said this week. This year so far has been a lot, says Pico. It absolutely has. Oh, do you really? Okay, so Tim says if you sub to Sarah's Twitch, you get automatic access to the chat, just FYI. Thanks, Tim. These are all things that I don't know, so I'm glad that you're here to help with these things. Davis says, I'm sound designing the next episode of the Viridian Wild tonight. I'm past dialogue editing and moving on to placing sounds everywhere. Hey! Oh, that's exciting. That's what Tim's working on right now with Omen, doing that sound design. So that's fantastic. Oh, hey, it's Lindsay. Hey. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, Carmen says it's been a rough couple of days life-wise, but somehow I'm still getting writing done. Yes. Oh, this is what diamond painting is, when you glue jewels to a background and make an image. So it's like bedazzling, but it's like larger scale. Okay, this sounds amazing. Apparently I am embodying the character that I've been writing about lately. Jimmy says, I sent out the newsletter, which I got this morning. It was very good. Listen to Sarah's newest show, thank you, and wrote a 100-word story based on a popular piece of writing advice. My new motto is, I suck, but I ain't a quitter, LOL. Jimmy, you don't suck. Like, you don't suck. You're a really talented writer. Like, I'm not just saying that to be nice. I'm saying that because I've read your writing and it's really good. So like, I don't know what to tell you outside of that. And I know it's frustrating when you're not finding, you know, the size of audience that you want. How do you make someone believe that they're a good writer? Yeah, Sarah says you don't suck. Stop it. You absolutely don't. You absolutely don't. Rebellious comment says, I'm in near full ignore life mode because I procrastinated too much. I have a month and a half to complete an estimated 390 hours of work. I don't think that computes. I don't think that computes. Can you get an extension? Can you delegate some of that work? Can you like hire a subcontractor or literally anything? I don't want you to have to do that. Takara says, I'm still working on part 16 of my superhero story, and this part is getting really hard. Yeah. I've been stuck in the middle of episode 5 of Girl in Space for longer than I'd care to admit. So I totally understand that. Yeah. Steffer says, you better stop with that I suck nonsense. You're lovely and brilliant. Yeah, agree. Ooh, ginger tea and editing tonight for Falling Hoshi. I love it. Yes, Midori is here. I was thinking about doing some journaling. I have to show you. So like, I'll tilt my, yep, right here on top of my journal. So she knows. She knows. Oh, paint by numbers, but with jewels. Yes. Oh, yes. Lindsay. Mr. Rogers is seriously one of my heroes. Yes. I'm not very good at it, but I'm having fun. Yeah. And like, the thing is that Jimmy's good at it. Like, I feel like Jimmy's good at it, but he's not having fun. It's like the opposite. Takara, what? Takara says, I'm kind of worried about my first book release next month. This is a huge deal. Did you post a link to it in our Discord over in the Show Your Work channel? What are you worried about with the book release, Takara? Is it are you worried that people won't like it, or that people won't buy it, or that like something will go wrong, or what are you worried about mostly? Yeah, that number of hours gave I think quite a few of us a panic moment. I remember back when I was working in marketing and website design and building, we used to quote our projects by hours. In an almost 400-hour project, I've had those before. And a month and a half to do a project that size, like I got some panic and some anxiety for you. Oh, please do what you can to make that bearable. Again, delegating, subcontracting, maybe some work if you can, asking for an extension, whatever you can do. Yeah, whatever you can do. I know everybody here is like, book release. I know. I love Midori too. She's my little pal. Yeah, Midori knows how to get that attention. I know. Heck yeah. Started editing already. I love it. Fantastic. Gosh, 390 divided by 45, roughly a day and a half, is 8.7 hours a day. No, sleep is good. I talk all the time. I'm going to get my water here. Hydration is important, but so is sleep. Oh, so is sleep. I know that there's this like perception that like, oh, sleep is for the weak, or I'll sleep when I'm dead. And it's like, oh, haha, that's very funny. But also, sleep is so important. It's so important. It's how our brains heal themselves. It's how our bodies heal. It's how we get our energy back. And you're going to need energy. Oh, yes. Evan, I love this. Evan says, I like helping people believe they're good writers by pointing out very specific things they do well and or that I like. It's like a compliment, but with evidence. That's fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, I love it. Takara says, I don't have the day for the book release yet. Yes. Oh, Takara says, you're worried about sucking and it not selling. Yes. Those are really valid fears. And it kind of goes a little bit hand in hand with what Jimmy was talking about earlier about, this perception that we create something, and what does it mean if we don't get the kind of feedback that we want about it? It's all well and good, and it's almost easy to say like, oh, I'm successful if I'm writing and I'm having fun. It's like really easy to say that, but it's a little bit harder to make yourself believe it, especially when you look around and other people seem to be getting the validation that you want. This is something that like, it's very I'm just going to use social media as an example. You see someone who posts a selfie and they get, 10,000 likes. You post a selfie and you get 4 likes. And it's like, well, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not as valid as this other person? And it starts raising concerns about our worth and the quality of what we create. And there's just a lot going on there. In fact, Jimmy and I were messaging earlier, and we're kind of talking about external validation and how I think a lot of us need it. We need to know, we need confirmation, that what we're creating isn't terrible. And Jimmy was asking, how do we see our work as valid without validation, especially if, like Takar is afraid that her book won't sell or that people won't like it. How do we know our work is valid outside of external validation? So if any of you want to weigh in on that, I think that's a really huge question. And I was planning on doing some journaling around that tonight, and maybe having that journal entry turn into my newsletter for Monday, which is what I'm working on tonight. But oh gosh, these are so valid. Rebellious comment says, I already mentally painted myself into the corner and I have no option but to do the work. Okay, it probably won't be pretty, but I feel like I needed this deadline panic to actually do it since I've been avoiding it so hard. We're hitting a lot of big topics tonight, my friends. Procrastination is something that you're not alone. I deal with that, and I often will procrastinate and put off until I almost can't do it, because then it's like the only way that I can focus and create is when my deadline is like stabbing me in the face. Like, hey, I'm here, I'm coming, like I'm on my way. And I'm like, and then I panic, create, and I feel like that's probably not healthy. But I don't really have any advice for you on that. Yeah, Evan says, I'm so with you there. I need deadlines and the resultant panic to accomplish a lot of things. For me, I need it to focus. Focusing for me is so hard that if I'm not in a panic state, I feel like this is a limiting belief. I feel like this is a lie I'm telling myself. But I feel like sometimes when I don't have that panic state and the looming deadline, I don't do it, or it's not as good, or I'm not as focused when I'm creating it. And that's been a problem. Yeah. Gosh, this is all so good. Oh, this is all so very good. Tavik said sleep is for the world. Ooh, yeah, Cassandra. I think a lot of people will probably identify with this. Cassandra says, I like deadlines, but massive panic mode just sends me into deer in headlights mode. And you like kind of freeze up, it sounds like. Yeah. Oh gosh. And like, I think some people even like crave the like adrenaline boost. And I may be including myself in that as well. And I don't want to. Yeah. Oh, this is good. Well, I don't want to say like this is good because I don't want you to feel this way, but this is really insightful. So I used to think that, quote, I will be a good writer when they lecture for my work at a collegiate level, end quote. They do, and I still don't. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is huge. That is huge because and I say that because I talk about success being this like staircase. We're continually leveling up, right? So like my first stair is to publish, my second stair is to get recognition, my third stair, they're teaching my stuff at a college. And every time you hit one of those goals, you're already looking at the next 10 goals, and suddenly what you wanted and what you achieved isn't good enough. And that's such a terrible feeling. Please know that I think a lot of us can feel that and understand that. Yeah. Ooh, Rebellious Comet says, I'm not sure if I like deadlines or not. On the one hand, desperation fuels production, but on the other hand, would I even have procrastinated if I didn't have a deadline? Yeah, Deb says success is not measured by what is sold. You have a finished product if you sell nothing, and you have accomplished something a lot can never do. Be proud of yourself. I think a lot of us need to hear that. A lot of us need to hear that. Ooh, Falling Hoshi, I feel like this is maybe something that Jimmy would identify with too. And that is, Falling Hoshi says, I have the issue where I do want validation for my work, but then I feel guilty for seeking attention. Ugh, yes. Ugh. I think it really helps me to work in marketing for as long as I did, and to really get to this understanding that if you want people to know about your work, you have to talk about it. And I had to cross this really uncomfortable threshold of talking about not only my work, but myself, and like work on being seen and work on seeing myself. It's really hard. Oh, it's really hard. Yeah, Deb says validation is always welcome, but hard to find. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Tim says, wow, academically credited authors still don't feel validated. Yeah. I mean, that's like, as someone who's not even in that place yet, like it seems, wow. Yeah. Sorry. I'm feeling all of this so much. Davis says, I've been trying to find my love for writing again. When I draw, the stakes don't exist anymore because it's not what I want to do in life. Yes. The stakes disappear. Yes. I wonder how much of this, what am I thinking of? David Dushman I know I talk about this podcast a lot, but I really love his podcast, A Beautiful Anarchy. I'm going to look for it real quick because I was just listening to it. He has this episode of his show, and it's called Just an Amateur ? And he talks about, because, if you read a book like The War of Art or Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield, he talks about the difference between being a pro and being an amateur. And he kind of like dismisses amateurs. But David Dushman in his podcast talks about how looking at our work as though we are amateurs, and the root word of the amateur is to do something because you love it. How that's a really healthy mindset for a lot of even professional creatives. Oh, me too. Dahlia says self-imposed deadlines are hard for me to stick with. Yeah. I was cursed by reading The Four Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin, in which she talks about how we're held accountable for our productivity. And I learned that I cannot set deadlines for myself. I need to be accountable to somebody else externally. And I didn't like that. I still don't like that. I don't like the thought that I can't do something and I can't rewire my brain to do something, because I feel like, I don't know, I believe that people can change. And then if we want to do something, we set our minds to it, we can do it. So I'm still finding ways to, and I think the root of it with my self-imposed deadlines is, I think that someone else has maybe said this a lot more eloquently than I am about to say it, but like, I know that person. I know not to take her seriously. That's Sarah. Like, she set that deadline. I can't take her seriously. And that's a problem, right? Because it means that we don't trust and value ourselves, right? If we don't take ourselves seriously. And actually, I was listening to Amy McNee's podcast Unpublished, and she brought up something that I thought was really, really smart. And she says, it's easy to get into that place if we've made a lot of promises to ourselves and not lived up to those promises. So in other words, if we've betrayed ourselves, if we have a history of betraying ourselves to the point where we no longer feel like we can trust ourselves. So that's some food for thought right there, is how do we reestablish trust in ourselves? And how do we get back to a place where We can set deadlines for ourselves and stick to them. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Deadlines anxiety make me more productive. Yeah. Lindsay says, I think that sometimes procrastination or writer's block happens when you need more information in order to move forward. And yes to craving the adrenaline boost. Yes. Yes. I like this. Drayton says, avoid poopy people that poo poo your accomplishments. Find people who see your worth and listen only to them. Yes. It's finding those people that can be really hard, though, which is why I think communities like this are really important. Being in a community of creators who know that you are deeply, deeply worthwhile and your work is meaningful and your work is important. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate this. Yeah. Mike says, not selling and I know you can't see me over this comment, not selling and the quality of the book have little to do with one another. Yeah. And Jimmy, this gets back to what you were talking about too. Some of the best work does not have a large audience. And some of the crappiest work has a huge audience and a huge fan base. And it can be very, very frustrating. Sorry, I'm like doing a sermon on what Mike said, but I want to continue with what Mike says. All you can do is your very best and hope that there's someone out there who likes it. I've published 2 books with almost no online sales, but some locally, and I have real fans here. Yes. So for me, that's my validation. I got a very nice note from someone I know who told me how much she and her husband loved my book, and that helps me when I have the this sucks days. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, hi, Caro is here. Mike, hey, Mike. Hi. I know we're going way over our time, but this is also, I feel like we're talking about a lot of really important things. So I think what I'm going to do is when we start writing, I'll adjust our time so we still get our hour. And if you need to leave early, well, or if you need to leave on time or whatever it ends up being, you can absolutely do that. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So not to call folks out or anything, haha, but as a guy with CPTSD, procrastination is a way for my brain to get itself back into threat mode, a mode I spent so much of my life in, so my brain knows what to expect in that mode. Oh my gosh. The trick has been slowly to teach my brain there is safety in working outside of panic. Oh my gosh. That's huge. That's a huge insight. Oh my gosh, the trick has been slowly to teach my brain that there is safety in working outside of panic. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Yeah, if that resonates with you, that's definitely something to think about and to maybe journal about. Um, yeah. Takara says, I know that I'm a good writer, but I'm just scared. That's normal. It's normal to be scared. I don't know if that sounds patronizing. I don't mean to be patronizing. I just want you to know that, you know, every time I release an episode of a podcast, every time any author I've ever talked to, anytime they release something new, even though it's good and they know it's good, you get nervous, and that's okay. That's part of putting yourself out there. That's part of being a public figure, a creator. So yeah, and I like that the most you can do is move forward despite your fears, and it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing. So I love that. Davis says, I really fixate on validation from those I look up to, as opposed to admiration from those I don't know. And I dislike how subjective that goal is. Yes. Yeah. I've seen writers get feedback from someone that they really admire and change their work completely because of it. But it turns out it wasn't good advice, or I don't know. It's, yeah, the subjectivity there is really, can be really challenging. Yeah. That's how we learn though. I mean, oh, I made this change and it didn't work. Okay, so now I know I need to find out more what I think and what works for me and what's in my voice. Yeah. Annie says, work on being seen and seeing myself. Yep, I tend to joke about my invisibility curse, meaning basically that. I feel like a lot of writers do feel invisible. And when you post and you don't get any likes, or if you post a story, or if you publish something and you don't get any sales, and it feels like the world, A, doesn't notice, or B, even worse, doesn't care. I think that's a lot more common than any of us know. So please know that you're not alone. Please know that you're not alone in that. Mm. Oh, I freaking adore you all. Tim says, I get personal accountability and work discipline confused a lot. Interesting. They definitely require different life hacks to acquire. Personal accountability and work discipline. Oof. Oof. There's so much there. Yes. Mm. Tim says, I always get down on myself for being lazy when it's probably more about motivation and accountability. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Jimmy says the entire notion of productivity varies too. You may apply work productivity to other work when it may not at all be apt. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Damien, I just love what you're doing in the background here. Thank you. You're fantastic. Deb says, for real validation, go look in a mirror. You can be your best friend. Deb, I want you to be my life coach because what happens when you look in the mirror and you don't love what you see? And I'm not talking about like physical appearance or anything. I'm talking about when we have low self-worth, it can be really hard to validate ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy says that's exactly it. I look at the stories I post and I see how none of them have 100 visits, and it makes me wonder if I'm really all that good anyhow. Yeah. Oh, I know I've talked about this before, but in a way, it makes me think of, Emily Dickinson was not famous as a writer in her own time. I don't even think people found her poems until after her death. She was never recognized during her lifetime. And there's famous painters. I think Van Gogh was even one of them, or Van Gogh, as others would say. But Van Gogh, everybody knows Van Gogh, but at the time when Van Gogh was alive, Van Gogh was not appreciated. It wasn't until later that people began to see the genius in his work. And I don't feel like that's very helpful to hear, because you do want to be appreciated in your own time. You do want to see the fruits of your labor. And I think this is part of, because, I'm a little bit torn. Evan, I don't know if you've seen my mug, but I'm really enjoying drinking my decaf coffee out of it this evening. I'm really torn between wanting to say, hey, I don't want you to feel like you have to rely on other people's validation in order to feel like a good and worthwhile writer. And then I also want to say, hey, let's find ways to get you more validation. And I feel like there's both of those are doable, but they're like two different paths. One of the reasons that I'm so passionate about marketing is that it works, but it also takes a lot of time. And I know time is not something that a lot of us have a huge abundance of. And it feels like I'm working now. I'm finally got my butt in gear. I'm writing every day, or I'm publishing once a week. And I don't want to wait 2 or 3 years for my audience to grow. I want my audience now. And it's like, but then also you feel guilty about wanting that, right? There's just so much. There's so much going on with this. This is such a fantastic thing to talk about. An absolute fantastic thing to talk about. Yeah. Eridan says, that's why I've never done much with publishing. I tend to be very invisible. And I feel like the few times I've tooted my own horn, I got taken down for it. It's left me very confused on how to approach getting out there. Yes, there's definitely strategies and tactics to marketing and putting yourself out there and networking and PR. Actually, I have a few, if you want, I have a few podcast episodes in the Right Now podcast that you can go back and listen to. I did very recently, I want to say like the end of 2019, I did 3 consecutive episodes about, there's marketing part 1, marketing part 2, and then PR for writers and podcasters. And I think they're like episodes like 83, 84, and 86, or like 84, 85, and 87 or something. I don't know, but they're like, there's a trio there that I would suggest you start there, because a lot of writers do feel invisible and they're not sure how to market their work. And those are just some, and it's free to listen to if you're interested in it. Oops. Yes, Annette says, I find that some of the works I like the least or the least well written are the most popular of mine. Yep. So at this point, I write what I want to read. You got to, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for doing it for yourself. And I know that's hard. I know that's hard when what we want is something else. Deb says, clean the mirror. Deb, you're amazing. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, so many artists are not appreciated until they're dead, and that sucks. Yeah, Davis says, I remember Gabrielle Urbina asked a whole group of us if we'd rather be remembered in life or after death for our works. How did that conversation turn out, Davis? Because I'm very interested in that. Yes. Cassandra says, I've been trying hard recently to be less apologetic for myself and my work. It's hard, but I found that it's helped. A couple of years ago, I would never, ever think of letting anyone read anything I wrote. Now I'll put stuff out there. Still scary as heck, but I know I'm a work in progress. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Those of you who are over on Twitch, Tim has linked my 3. So it's episode 84, 85, and 87 of the Right Now podcast. If you're interested in just some basics on marketing, if you feel invisible, if you feel like you're not sure how to put yourself out there in a way that resonates with people or in a way that is seen as non-spammy, go ahead and check out these episodes. They're right here. They're over at sarahwarner.com. They're free to listen to. Yes. Oh, yes. I need to get onto the Discord more, hang out with you awesome folks instead of Zoom scrolling so much. Yes. Doom scrolling. Yeah. I got caught up in doom scrolling earlier this week, and it did not send me to a good place. It sent me to an angry, sad place. It made me feel worse about myself. Oh, hey. Yeah, I know. LA Baker says, oh, wow, I was sure you would all be writing right now. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm a little behind tonight. Jimmy says, LOL, be an artist. You'll probably die after a career stocking shelves at Walmart, but maybe after that, people will eventually love what you do. Jimmy, that's so self-deprecating. Stop it. I'm giving you a hard stare. Steffer says, I'm the weirdo who would prefer posthumous recognition. I don't like the attention. Yes. And I feel like there's like a little bit of a stigma. If you say like, yes, I do want the attention, people are like, oh, attention seeking. And that's such a dirty word in our culture. But there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to like produce good work and be recognized for it. Yeah, Davis says, I remember pretty much all of us said that they'd rather be recognized in life instead of after death. Davis says, my reasoning was that nothing matters to me after death because I'm not experiencing that. That's totally valid. Oh, Drayton says, old guy, what is doom scrolling? So that's like you're on Twitter and everybody's like, my life is horrible. This terrible law just got passed. This political figure is saying this very nasty thing about someone else. And then you keep scrolling and it's like, oh, the polar ice caps are melting and this animal is endangered. And in 20 years, we won't be able to see the sun anymore. And you just like, you're scrolling and you're scrolling through your news feed, and it can be on Facebook or Twitter or Reddit or wherever it is that you're doom scrolling, and basically you spiral into a very dark place because all of the input that you're getting is extremely negative. And that's when it's time to get off of social media, but we can't because we're addicted to it. Put down your phone, break the cycle. Oh, Evan, I appreciate you saying this. Evan, also a life coach. Embrace the human need for positive attention. Embrace the human need for positive attention. Oh, hey, it's Ricardo. Hey. Embrace the human need for positive attention. I'm going to like make that an affirmation. Jimmy, I want you to think about this too. Embrace the human need for positive attention. We need to be seen and we need to be loved. And that's part of who we are. Deb is scandalized. Deb says, oh my, why would anyone doom scroll? Stop it. I know, but it's so addictive because you're like, I need to know all these terrible things that are happening so I can protect myself against them. Like that's the mindset, at least that I go in with. I just got to see what's happening so I'm not missing out on anything. And then you just keep going and you can't stop. And the algorithm is designed to keep you scrolling. Falling Hoshi says, I deleted Twitter a few weeks ago. It's been weird, but better. Yeah. Evan, don't call me out like that. Embracing the need for positive attention is a long, hard battle. I think it comes back to self-worth. A lot of us feel, and I don't want to speak for anyone, but at least I struggle with self-worth. And I don't know. Yeah, Mike says I can't handle positive attention too well. So does that mean you don't like to get it, or you don't know what to do with yourself when you do get it? And yeah, we all need to stop doom scrolling. Tim, yes. Tim says I need to delete Facebook. Yes, I only use it for time wasting games anyway. Evan says, if you don't want attention, that's fine, but so many people do and then feel weird about it. Like there's something wrong with wanting to be seen and acknowledged and treated like you're important. Well, I think a lot of us too grew up with a sort of you should be seen and not heard, or you need to be humble and you shouldn't boast. A lot of us grew up with that, and it's so hard to unlearn what we've learned, in the words of Yoda. Like, it's so difficult to shake or to untrain the ways in which we've been trained. And I realized that. Charlie says, find a way to waste your time better. Oh, yeah. Oof, Evan says, I definitely hear the need for unlearning here. If I praise myself, I can hear my mother's voice telling me to stop. I just don't listen anymore. Good. Oof, oof, oof. Wow, making us look like, yeah. Damien says, my life feels like I'm actually in a doom scroll right now. Yeah, Canada's bad. Um, my brother is in Ottawa, and he has not had his first COVID vaccination yet, and he doesn't know when he's going to get it. And so I'm really feeling for those of you in places that are kind of struggling like that. Yes, the no drama llama. Yeah, I have a very low tolerance for drama. Good. Sarah says I'm in the next batch. Good. Good. Steffer says, I love celebrating my friends and screaming out loud with praises when they do things, but I really dislike getting similar attention directed towards me. And that's totally legitimate. Some people like attention and some people don't. And it's up to you which one you are. Absolutely. Tim says, so what did I miss? Sorry, I'm late. Well, we've been talking for an hour, but I'm glad you're here. We're actually talking about the need for validation. And, I think a lot of us feel like we shouldn't need that, or like, oh, the joy that I get out of creating is enough for me. But I think a lot of people crave validation, and a lot of writers and creators get very frustrated when they don't see any book sales or when they don't see any likes on the stories that they post. Yeah, Allie says, I need validation. Yeah, we all do. I need validation. I'm even one of those people who checks to make sure, hey, do you still like me? Like, is this good? Like, am I doing okay? I need constant validation. I don't want to need constant validation. Lindsay says, I think a lot of people have been taught that there is one moment where you will be successful. Like at the end of the Muppet movie, when they get the standard rich and famous contract for Kermit the Frog and Company. Weird Al Yankovic got roped into a too many albums record deal. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. There's not just one moment where you'll be successful, Lindsay. You're absolutely right. It trickles out over your life. And oh gosh, it's so interesting. And it never feels like what you expect it will feel like. It doesn't. And I think we expect that, the credits will roll after we experience some sort of success and we won't have to worry about things for a while, but that's not true either. There's just so much. Oh, Deb says, I currently validate each and every one of you in case you need mine. I validate you too. Yeah. Tim says we all need validation. It helps us continue. It does. Oh, Jason, this is like even another step further. So Jason says, I incorrectly assume people giving me positive attention are actually mocking me in my work. I always have to check myself when I feel that way. Oh my gosh, that's there. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Oh my gosh. Rob says, I also struggle with validation. It looks like, I think we're bursting something open here. I think that this is something that we're all struggling with. Allie says, lately I've been sending my drafts to a friend first, even before my editors, because she always gives me validation and helps me feel better about what I'm creating, what I'm writing. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Self-worth. Yes. Ooh, validation highs. Charlie, that's really good. Charlie says, I would like to create in secret until I get the urge to post, and then I'm constantly seeking validation highs. Yes, it's that burst of, what is it, serotonin, dopamine. Oh, you want to sit in my chair? Okay. Okay, hold on. You can sit in here. Let me scoot forward, and now you can sit in the back of my chair. Yeah, come here. There you go. Made space for you. She likes to sit behind me in my office chair, so I scoot up to the very edge of the chair, and then She'll curl up behind me and take a nap, which is fantastic. Oof, yes, yes. Eridan says, what's hard is when my husband says this is really good, but he doesn't count because he's married to me. It's like his opinion doesn't count. Yes, how silly is that? That's not silly. You're looking at this person who loves you and you're like, well, of course you like what I create. You're looking at me through this like bias of love. Like, I'm thinking now about how often do we dismiss validation? Oh my gosh, and yeah, right underneath this, Tim says, when I get validation, it either goes over my head so you don't notice it, or I feel like I have to ignore or dismiss it so I don't let it go to my head. You have to brush it off. Why? Why do you feel that way? Oh yeah, I feel this too. Mike says, I never feel like thank you is sincere enough to say to somebody who compliments me. Oh, absolutely. Oh, and Tim says, success is a fleeting thing. It shimmers momentarily. It's finding happiness in between those successes. Yes, 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 yes. Drayton, I appreciate this. Maybe we just need to be a little bit more confident. Drayton says, I approach life as I'm already successful. Now don't mess it up. Maybe we need to stop dismissing the validation that people who love us give to us. Oh, the Council of Tims validates and acknowledges each and every one of you. Thank you, Council of Tims. I do. I need that pet chair. Yeah, Charlie gets in a cycle of refreshing the page forever, hoping it will make comments and likes appear. Oh, I know that so much. I feel that so much. I feel that so much. Yeah, this is really true. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, validation is one of those. But as writers, it's a different level, one that school, life, religion tells us, takes us out of the group and into our own, and they spend years reminding us of its unacceptability. We're not good because we step out because we are good. Oof. 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 I love this. You all have such wonderful thoughts. Interesting. Jason, I think that this is probably something that a lot of people in this group deal with. Jason says, the first time I felt validated was when someone I didn't know or prompt posted a positive review of my work. It was the first time I didn't feel like I was prompting or coercing someone's positive opinion. Prompting or coercing. Look at that language. Prompting or coercing. Do you feel like you prompt or coerce people into giving you 5-star reviews? Do you think they would do that because they actually think you're good? Just trying to fix this piece of hair. There we go. That's really powerful. Oh, yeah. Evan says, just because I feel like there might be some feelings of despair going on here, it took work, but I genuinely love compliments. I enjoy attention and I love feeling like I'm good at things. It's possible, I promise. Thank you for that, Evan. Anne says, I had to step away for a minute. Are we creating? Holy cow. So I think what we're going to do tonight, because I'm really enjoying this conversation and I think it's really important. We'll talk for a little bit more and then we'll do like an abbreviated creating session and then we'll talk some more. Oof, yeah. The nail that sticks out gets hammered. Oof. Oof. Yes. These comments are so good. Oh my gosh, these comments are so good. Damien says, it's funny. I don't feel like I need validation or attention on my main project, mostly because I think I know its value and it feels successful. It's Hanapocalypse that is like my little baby and I want people to see how cute it is and I want it to be successful and seen. Yes. Oh, and I think it's really interesting to think about why that is. and how you got to a place with Cybernautica where you feel good about it, where you feel validated for it. I would love to break down that thought process and apply it to Hanapocalypse. Jimmy, I feel this. Okay, so Jimmy says, I just don't want to live in a small duplex with a lazy landlord hacking away at a job I have to my core that makes me feel small and powerless, that can't be too much to ask from life. It's not too much to ask from life. It's not. It's definitely something that you can work at. Yeah. And a lot of people say amen, you and me both. Yeah. Tim says, I don't stalk my own YouTube looking for views, likes, and subscriptions every day. Not at all. Oh, it's so interesting. We all do this. Ooh, yes. Mike says, I just went through this at my prior job. I had gotten promoted, but a recent reorganization took away the position for everyone. And I was right back to where I was. My new job was excited to have me, and it was a validation, and I'm so much happier. Yes. Yes. Oops, sorry. Mike, I just read yours, but I wanted to highlight, Mike says, I managed to stop myself shortly after season 2 ended and didn't even know I had hit 100,000 downloads until a few weeks ago. Congrats on 100,000. Did I say 1,000? I meant to say 100,000. Congrats on 100,000 downloads. That's huge. Let us celebrate with you. Those are fireworks. Congratulations. You are extremely valid. Jimmy says, Sarah, I think you and I came from a background where the authority figures told us not to brag or even be seen over much, and yet they tended to give the attention and perks to the people who bragged and drew attention to themselves. Yes, and so on top of not being allowed to talk about ourselves, we also developed a resentment for people who do talk about themselves. It's really, really messed up and complex, and we need to learn to move past that. Just like Evan was talking about earlier, I think it's possible. I think it's possible. There's so much good stuff going on here in the comments. Okay. I do want us to be able to get at least a little bit of creative work done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change our little banner. Let's go ahead. We'll write and create for 30 minutes. So I'm going to say, I'm going to put up our little banner here. So it's 8:10. We'll go till 8:40. But I think that this, there's such a good conversation going on here about validation. And honestly, I'm going to write down too that I want to do right now a podcast episode about this, because I think it's a really, really rich topic. I mean, even just given our conversation here. Yeah. Oh, good night, Aaron. And those of you, 8:45. Okay, maybe we'll do 8:45. If you need to leave, please know that is absolutely fine. And we're sending love and luck with you. Yes, and Mike says, I'm going to say goodnight, but I want everyone here to know you are valued and important. Yes, you absolutely are. Those of you who need to leave, please do so. Those of you who want to stay and create with us, we're going to do that. So, and actually, I like this idea. So should we go? Whoops. I have to just change this real quick. Okay, maybe we'll go till 8:45. Okay. So yeah. Let's create. Again, if you need to leave, that's fine. I'm going to mute myself. We'll be back in just slightly over 30 minutes. Yes, good. Video editing, it looks like. I know Tim is doing podcast sound design. Davis is doing some sound design. People are working on beautiful things, worthy things, worthwhile things, valid things. I like this. As Stuart Smalley says, you're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like you. Everyone here is incredible and amazing. Damien's going to play some World of Warcraft Classic. That's extremely worthwhile because, Damien, what you're doing is recharging and healing. Yeah. Do what you need to do. If you're not going to write, if you're not going to create, doodle or journal or stare at the wall or deep breathe or drink a cup of tea and meditate, play some video games, whatever it is you need to do tonight. That's what I want you to do. I want you to fulfill your creative spirit. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, and I will summon you back at 8:45 p.m. Central. That is 6:45 p.m. Pacific, 7:45 p.m. Mountain, 9:45 p.m. Eastern. And at that point, we'll do just an abbreviated little chat to wrap up our session. So, all right, I'm going to mute myself. Please do feel free to continue chatting if you want over in the comments, and I'll see you in 30 minutes. Welcome back, writers. Welcome back, podcasters and editors and crocheters and doodlers and video game players. How was that? Yes, the Alpenhorn has summoned you. Yes, come back. Let me get rid of our banner here so I can highlight some comments. Looks like some people did well, some people had a little bit of difficulty. Numberless Dreams said, I'm off my game tonight, so I'm heading out. Hope everyone gets a little bit of what they need from the Create Along. You are all seen and appreciated, including you lurkers. I see you. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, every time we sit down to create, despite us wanting it to be wonderful and magical and amazing, it doesn't always feel that way. So being off your game, I totally understand that. Allie says, I finished editing episode 1 of Stardust. I love it. Jimmy says, done and posted. Congrats. I love it. Well, if it isn't the creepy horn. Gosh, yeah. Yeeted back into the now. I love it. I love it. Another book lover says, I wrote a poem about not knowing what to write about. Yeah, that's fantastic. Holy cow, 721 words. Wow. Sarah just trucking along. Oh, Falling Hoshi says, my cat is very concerned when he hears the summons. Midori is just sleeping like a tiny white log, so I don't think the Alpenhorn bothers her at all. Oh no, your cat snuck outside. Are they okay? I know my cats are not allowed outside because they will get hit by a car or carried off by a hawk or something terrible. Nice. Dahlia says 502 words. Can't say my cat trying to jump on my computer to get my attention because he's hungry didn't help at the end. Oh, animal friends. Oh, they need to be seen. They need validation just as much as we do. Sometimes perhaps just a little bit more annoyingly than we'd like them to. Good. Let's see. Anne says, I think I answered my own question because the small victory in my novel leads up to an even bigger setback near the end of the chapter. I love it when things like sort themselves out like that. You just have to, get the writing done, get the words out there. That's fantastic. Tim says, got my pirate ballista locked and loaded with some awesome chonky mechanical sound effects. Tim, I am very excited to hear this. Wisty says, I was able to get a scene done. This chapter's been so hard, but I'm chugging along little by little. Good. Oh, I know that's so hard. I know that's so hard. And those little steps never feel like they're going to add up. Oh, I know because I'm dealing with that right now too. So that's fun. Please know that you're not alone. Allie says, I finished editing tonight. Now I'm updating the credits and going to do the content warnings. Excellent. I still need to write the episode's poem, but that's a future Allie problem. Good. That's not for you to worry about right now. Cassandra says, I didn't get much actual pen and paper writing done because my brain was busy after all that conversation earlier. Yeah, mine too. But I took out my hand sewing and did get some character brainstorming done. Good. I also discovered I can write and type while wearing a thimble. Hidden talents. I love that. I love that. Carmen says, wrote some good words on my nano project. Excellent. Oh, Marissa. Marissa says, I wrote for myself tonight and it felt so good. I love to hear that. It's been almost a month since I worked on my novel. The break was actually good as I really missed my characters and I feel excited and refreshed going back into it. It makes me really happy. Marissa, thank you for sharing that. Oh, yeah, sometimes we just need to take a little time away. Yeah. Anne says, I finished a scene in the Bonkers story and then bounced off the next one. So I switched over to notes on a new story. This one is, virtual poison frog, sorta, nothing but scattered notes so far. I'm here for it. Whatever it is you're writing, Annie, I am here for it. Good. GE Martian says, phew, that was good. I was writing during the convo and got 16 bullets. Heck yes. Normally I'm a diehard pantser, but this outlining stuff is really nice when done on my own terms. Yes, yes. And not stuck in Roman numeral indent purgatory. Yes. I had to Roman numeral indent purgatory. That's such a good way of talking about how I also felt for so long about creating outlines. I do now, you know, my outlines now look a lot different. They're index cards that I order and reorder. I keep it flexible and it helps me in the way that I need it to help me. And it can be so powerful to find a method that works for you. Ooh. Teaser for Jimmy's story. Jimmy says it's called Death to the Darlings and it's only 100 words and it's prompted by a couple pieces of writing advice. I'm gonna have to check that out. Fantastic. Jason says, worked on some scope documents for my world building to help focus the world themes. Probably only plunked down 50 words, but they'll save me thousands in the future. Yes. And 50 words is completely valid and legit. I wrote, I think, so I got my newsletter done for Monday, and yeah, I think it's just like 150 words or 200 words. Maybe it's not long. So, but it's also completely valid. It was something I needed to do and I wanted to do. So yeah. Yay. Yes. Yay. Writing for yourself. Yes, indeed. Pico says, I ended up reading a bit and journaling an ideal day. Ooh, it's much more chill than my ideal day from when I was younger. Yes. Oh, I love that. And did you get any good insights from it? Again, you know, in addition to it just being extra chill. Good. Cryptid says, I drew my D&D character. I'm very proud of their pose, but I'm still trying to figure out what they'll wear. I've drawn them in a few different outfits, but their fashion sense is hard to find. Oh, I know. Oh, it's so hard. Oh, that's great though. Hoshi says, I got to the point in my story where I was blocked on. This is becoming more of a rewrite than an edit. Yes. Not always what we want to happen, but sometimes just what needs to happen. Yeah. Evan says, I edited all of episode 4, fleshed it out quite a bit, and started making new notes for episode 5. I love it. Oh, so you're almost done. There'll be 6 in all. So we're getting close to the part where they get to be so in love. Fantastic. Fantastic. Anne says, I added some words to my novel, but I took out a couple of sentences because they didn't work anymore after I added the heart-stopping setback. Yeah. Just got to be flexible and prune what needs to be pruned, I think. Yeah. Oh, rewrote 4 pages and looked for the cat, says Drayton. That sounds like an evening. Yeah. Ooh, Davis says, I spent the whole time on Twitter and searching for gas can sound effect. I want that sloshy plastic tub sound. Good luck. Yeah, I know exactly. I can imagine exactly what you're looking for. Yes, we need a cat status. Is the cat okay? No cat yet. He's out catting and won't be back for hours. I hope he comes back okay. That's important. Charlie says, my friend called me and I've been jogging all this time. Heck yeah, Charlie. Good for you. Love it. Hey, Damien, I get this. Damien says, look, all of your productive work is great and all, but do you even know how it feels to hit level 25 on your Tauren Shaman? Spoiler, it's way better to be productive. I used to play Taurens. They were like the best. I think I had a Tauren Hunter. Gosh, wow. Like literally, wow. World of Warcraft was like 20 years ago. Oh my gosh. I've been playing Valheim recently. So that's how I've been spending my excess time. Good. Annette says I got my Camp Nano word count in. Excellent, excellent. Oh, good night. LA Baker author says, good night, everyone. You're all wonderfully inspiring people and a joy to interact with. I'm going to have to second that. Yeah, that's absolutely accurate. Yeah, if you need to head out, please do. I think I'm going to head out myself in just a few minutes here, but I want to get through just a few more comments here. Okay, good. Yes. Pico's going to sleep. I love it. Oh, good. You found it. Good. Davis found that sound effect. I love it. Yes. With free sound, you never know what tags that perfect sound is hiding under. I totally understand that. Oh, I love this. Yes. Marissa says, the rest of my novel takes place in a small town in Italy, and I want nothing more than to go spend a month there for research. I wish you could too. I wish you could too. Oh, thank you. GE says, have a great night, y'all. I have a grumpy kitty here that requires playtime. Y'all are amazing. I really enjoy this community. And thank you, Sarah, for bringing us all together. Well, thank you for bringing yourselves here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being your true and beautiful and honest and authentic selves here. It means everything. Having a safe space where we can be creators and we can talk about things like the need for validation, is extremely important. And I feel like in other spaces, you know, we would be judged or feel like we were being judged for talking about it. But I think that it's really important to have a safe space where we can say, yeah, I felt that too. And you're not alone. So I don't know. Yeah. Jimmy says, some people want riches to build mansions or buy expensive cars. Me, I want a small house of my own with a kitchen that will make my wife gleeful beyond ken and a computer powerful enough to play Valheim. Yeah. That's what you want in life, and that's what you're working toward. Oh, thank you for being here, Deb. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to go and faceplant pretty soon myself. But yeah, again, thank you for making this space exactly what it is. Thank you for caring. Thank you for caring about each other. Thank you for caring about your work. Thank you for showing up both for this community and for yourselves. This is just, it's so good. There was someone in our, I think it was Alana maybe in our Discord posted about the growing popularity of groups like these during COVID, and I think they're absolutely necessary. So thank you for helping make this community exactly what we all need it to be. All right. Please take good care of yourselves. Again, if this is your first time joining us, welcome. Yes, yes. Yes, you are all valid and validated and have validation. Yes, absolutely. I want you to know this. You are all important. You are all seen. You are all known. You are all worthwhile. It's so important to remember that. Yeah, come hang out with us in the Discord. Again, we do these every Wednesday and Friday evening. So we'll be back on Friday at 7 p.m. Central. So that's 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Again, 7 p.m. Central and 8 p.m. Eastern. We usually go for about 2 hours. Usually we write a little bit longer than we did tonight, but I think that I felt like we were having a really good conversation and I wanted to keep that going. So I felt like that was the right call. So thank you for being here. Good night. Take good care of yourselves. Drink lots of water. Get good sleep. And I'll see you in a couple days. All right. Bye for now, everyone.